Welcome to the beautiful Mediterranean island of Malta. This country is one of the 27 member states of the European Union, and with any luck, I'm about to go to all 26 other ones, faster than anyone in human history ever has. With that, I have a lot of explaining to do, for sure, which I promise I'll do. But first, in what will probably become a running theme on this video, I have a flight to catch. So let's go to the airport. All right, so I might have slightly psyched you out. We're still in Malta. It's still the same day. The first flight is at 7 tomorrow, but I thought this would be a good time to explain some of the basic ground rules of the record attempt here. So first thing, when does it start and when does it end? I think this is open-ended, and you're free to disagree with me on this, but you have to pick some time. And I've picked when the aircraft door closes here in Malta and when it opens on the last flight getting off into the last country. You know, I think until the door is closed, you can just get up and walk off the plane. And so by all means, you are still in Malta if you can just get up and walk off. Once the door is closed, that's harder. So that's what I've picked. And that kind of gets at the heart of the second question, which is, you know, what constitutes being in a country? And because these are basically domestic flights, the EU doesn't have border controls between member states. You know, it's not like you're behind passport control. When you're in these terminals about to get on a flight, you can just walk right out. Like I said, these are domestic flights. It would be different if they were, you know, effectively international flights. But I'm counting being in the airport on a domestic layover, effectively a domestic layover because there's open borders. That's in a country. Okay, last thing. This is a little Garmin GPS device. It's going to be running for the entire record attempt, and I'm going to be posting the .fit file that it produces, and I'll convert it into a GPX too, in the description. And I'll also be using them to make some motion graphics and a little thing in the corner, which hopefully you'll see. This is the best way I can think of to do kind of an independent reporting here that you can follow along with. This produces basically a matrix of time and location, so you know where I was at every point in time during this attempt, just in case the video isn't enough. So feel free to check those out down below, and let me know if you have any questions. Okay, with that, that's the ground rules. That's the boring stuff out of the way. Now, let's get out there and see if I can go to every country in the EU. Good morning. Just as promised, you join me here in the Malta airport, where it is very early, 5:15 to be exact. And we're off to a great start as our 6:45 flight has already been delayed to 7. And as you can imagine, we don't have a lot of cushion on anything over the next couple days. So hopefully it stays right there. In a second, we're going to head downstairs and get on our very first flight of the trip, leaving the smallest country in the EU and heading to one of the biggest. See you in a second, hopefully at 7. Right, it looks like we have a gate assigned. Things are happening, which means hopefully that'll be the only delay and we'll be on our way here. If that's as bad as it gets, that's pretty good. More in a second. Okay, welcome to Spain. Second country on the trip, and might be the last country because we are like 45 minutes late, and it was already going to be a tight connection, and we have to transfer to the other terminal. So bear with me. It's not looking great. Looking for the bus. I don't know. Oh, there it is. Gracias. Well, that was pretty lucky. At least we're on the bus the fastest we can be. Hopefully it doesn't take long to get there. Okay, we've arrived at Terminal 4. Somehow, that was only a 5-minute bus ride, and I found a way to buy fast track security access on the way. I didn't think I would need it. I knew I was leaving security and would have to go back through at this terminal, but I just didn't think we'd have a 45-minute delay. But I paid 15 euros, I got fast track. Hopefully that means I could just run right through here to my gate, which is boarding in, I think, 10 minutes from now. If I can make this, then I'm going to say that means good luck for the rest of the trip. So let's see what happens. Okay, I really lucked out there. I wish I could claim, some sort of genius, but I just lucked into that. The security line for standard security was so long. I'm not sure I would have made it. The gate is right behind me there, and they are about to start boarding in a minute, so I didn't even miss that. I really think, the expedited security had literally not one person waiting there, and it was hundreds of people in the standard line. So lucked out, gonna make this flight. Definitely one of the 2 longest layovers of the trip, so feels really good to make it happen, especially with this long of a transfer and the delay. It was already going to be tough even without that. So I'm feeling pretty confident, knock on wood, but pretty confident going forward. So going to get on this flight, and I'll see you when I do.
Ok. ¿Cómo vas, Canadá?
In the emergency exit, make sure that access to it is completely clear of baggage. Please take your seat as soon.
And just like that, we are off to country number 3, Portugal. This one should be a short flight, so talk to you in a second. Gracias. With that, we are in country 3. More in a second. So yeah, welcome to Porto, the 3rd country. Portugal is the 3rd country of our little journey here. I needed to make this layover a little longer than the other ones, and I'll explain why in just a second. But first, a couple things to take care of. Okay, so I'm here in the lounge in Porto, made it through security, and there's about an hour now until boarding. The reason I had to go out from security is because my next flight is with Ryanair. They're the only carrier that flies it, and I kind of had to do it. The reason Ryanair is bad for this challenge, besides just the normal reasons of their, reputation for timeliness, is that if you have a U.S. passport with Ryanair, you need to do this ridiculous visa check thing, which is not a real visa check. No other airlines require it. It's just some hoop you have to jump through. But you have to go all the way out of security and back to do it. So I had to give myself a 3-hour layover when I would have liked maybe a 90-minute layover here. But it's done. We have some time, and boarding is in an hour. I think this kind of highlights also the challenge here. You know, anyone could kind of drag themselves on to 20 whatever flights in 3 days. But the hard thing is making the route that's actually doable, that you know when you can do a short layover, you know when you can do a long layover, and kind of designing the actual plan. And that's kind of what I love doing. So it's pretty amazing to be out here getting this done. I've spent many, many, many hours of my life planning insane trips like this that I have no intention of ever taking, just because I love planning things. And this one just was too good to turn down. So we're out here, and it's making me happy. So anyway, with that, time to head north on a Ryanair flight to our 4th country in just a second. Okay, this is a slight new complication. I don't know if you can see that out there with the wide angle, but it is really raining hard. It's been coming in and out while I've been sitting here. Planes are coming and going, but not really right now. They have been in the rain, but not. It just got a lot worse. Hopefully, this is not a problem. We'll see. That would be pretty tough luck. But I have my fingers crossed. We're supposed to start boarding right about now. It's been changing a lot, so maybe it'll change for the better and we'll get a little window to leave. But yeah, gonna go get on the plane, and hopefully it finds a little hole in the sky and it can take off. All right, let's do it. Just like that, it is bright as all hell. Looks like a perfect day to go flying, and we're boarding. So hopefully that means we should be on time. More on that in a second. Hope to see you in Dublin. Just looking back at my footage, and I realized my phone died while I was boarding, so that clip didn't make it, but I made it on the flight. We're here on the way to Dublin. See you there.
Thanks, bye. Take care. Thank you. Bye.
And with that, we have made it here to our last layover of the day. We're in the lounge here in the Dublin airport. I've really been getting my money's worth out of my priority pass that I get with my Amex card. I think it's like my 6th lounge I've been to on this trip. Normally not a lounge person, but the free food is crucial right now. 4 countries, which doesn't seem like a lot for the whole first day, but I feel good about it. These are, basically the hardest countries to get to. They're the furthest out, except Cyprus, but that'll come later. So I feel like we're making a lot of progress. And now on to the last flight of the day. It boards in like 45 minutes. And then you might wonder, it's only, I don't even know what it is. It's only 6 p.m. Last flight of the day. What after that? Well, start churning. Start thinking about it. It's something good. We'll find out soon. All right, see you in a sec. Well, we've arrived. It's 7:30 p.m. The sun is down. And we're about to board our last flight of the night to Luxembourg, which will be our 5th country. And then 2 hours from now, when we get there, I'll tell you what happens next. Let's get on the plane.
Actually had some fun and give não só achei a peça.
Rockstar seating in the front row for the last flight of the night. Just kind of a reward for getting it done today, I guess. I don't even know how I got this. I just checked in on time and it let me pick it for free. I don't know how that works. But front row, I'm going to make the most of it. And I'll see you in Luxembourg. Thank you.
Thank you, bye.
So yeah, welcome to Luxembourg Airport. It's just gone 11 p.m. That means we've been doing this 16 hours now, and this is 5 countries, which is pretty good. But now we hit a roadblock. It's 11 p.m. There's really no night trains, no night flights to speak of. Not even any rental car desks open here at the Luxembourg Airport. So what do we do? Well, to answer that question, we're going to have to go back 3 days to this exact spot. Let's see what happened.
It's the third car on the right side.
Perfect.
Third or fourth car.
Okay, great.
And you will see the light.
Thank you very much. You too. All right, enjoy your 2 days in Luxembourg. I'll be back very soon. You better be ready to go. So yeah, there you have it. And sure enough, I certainly hope that when I go around this corner, there she is. Yeah, that was going to be a pretty big problem if not, but luckily, we are good to go. Okay, I'm just gonna go. So yeah, welcome to this cold, rainy night here in Luxembourg. I'm just sort of turning off of the ring road here and heading south, which kind of reveals that, our next target here is going to be our southern neighbor, France. And this is the introduction of something that will be a recurring theme on this trip, which is what I like to call the toe dip, which is that we are going to be in France for 1 minute. I mean, not even, which is funny because it's the biggest country in the EU. But yeah, we're not going to spend long in this particular country, and there will be others like it. But I'll get back with you in just a second when the toe dip is occurring. Won't want to miss it because, blink and you miss it. All right, you join me again on the verge of something very exciting, as countries 6 and 7 are both about to come in the span of about 3 minutes. I'm not sure how much you're going to be able to see, but I am certainly going to point the camera, and we will find out. It's the middle of the night. But yeah, thanks to the toe dip method, we're about to get Belgium and then France. Just a little bit of Belgium and then just the tiniest bit of France. You'll see it on the map literally one roundabout into France, a little more of Belgium. And then we're going to head back the other direction. So the toe dip method, it's crucial. We're learning how it works. Okay, here we go. Let's see if you can see that. Belgique. And there you have it. Country 6 is on the books. We're now driving in Belgium. And then just a couple minutes from now, we're going to get Country 7. So you'll join me again then. Well, I'm not sure if that'll do. I didn't see the same EU sign with the word France on it like we saw a second ago. But we are definitely in France now. So there you have it. Country number 7. It was probably not even 2 minutes later. And with that, we're now going to take this exit towards Arlon. Who knows if that's right? It's almost certainly not the right pronunciation. And head directly back into Belgium for a few hours and head north. Get some more countries off the list. But 7, we were at 5 minutes ago. That's pretty good. Okay, so it's been about 2 hours since we picked up France. It's almost 1:30 in the morning. And now we are going to pick up number 8, which is Deutschland. Germany is coming up here, and I'll turn you around and maybe you'll catch the entrance. There you have it. I don't know what that exactly said. I think it was Bundesrepublik Deutschland, which could have something to do with the province here. I think it's Rhineland. I'm not super good on my geography of this part of Germany. But in any case, the city here is called Aachen. And we are not just doing a little toe tap like we did in France this time. We're kind of tracing the ring road in Aachen for a little while here. And then pretty soon, in about 20 minutes or so, we will pick up our 9th country. But yeah, Germany. That is number 8 and number 9 coming very soon. And then get rid of the car and back to more flying. And hopefully sleeping, because it's going on 24 hours of being up, which is fine, except that I have another bunch of flights tomorrow. So let's see if I can find a way to make that work. More in a second with number 9. Okay, I just wanted to take one more quick second to say, kind of fun thing here. I think this little ring road around Aachen, or at least this part, this A44, I think is an unrestricted section of the Autobahn. There's not that many of them, especially down in this part of the country. But yeah, I think it's an unrestricted section, no speed limit section. I've never driven on that part of the Autobahn before, so maybe I'll push it a little bit. I won't do it on camera because it's dangerous to hold this and drive fast, but kind of cool. I didn't even know I was going to get that out of this trip, but unrestricted Autobahn, that's cool. Okay, see you in a second with number 9. All right, well, that was indeed a unrestricted speed limit section, so that was fun. And meanwhile, there you have it. That is number 9. We have entered the Netherlands, which apparently is said in the local Dutch language as Nederlanden. Had no idea. So yeah, 9 countries within, by the way, well within the first 24 hours. We started at 7 a.m. It's now 1:30 a.m. And we're 1/3 of the way through the 27 countries. That's 9 countries. That's a pretty good feeling. That is going to be it for quite a few hours here, though. At this point, we've got a 2-hour drive to Schiphol Airport in Amsterdam. And then we're going to go back behind security and take some more flights. More on that in just a second. 2 hours to get there, then going to return the car, and I'll meet up with you then. Well, that'll just about do it for that car. It was a pretty good little companion here. We had a nice overnight road trip. I am feeling it now, but I actually had a great time. I love road trips. So it is really early. It's 3:30 a.m. My flight's at 7:45. So I'm going to try to go through security and take a nap. This place isn't even open, so I just have to leave the key here. But yeah, that's the plan. I'd love to try to get a couple hours of sleep. In theory, I can, but I don't know about airport benches. I'm going to scout it out, and I'll report back in a second. So, a couple of thoughts. I'm in the airport. I managed to sleep like an hour. Not good. My problem is I pulled an all-nighter last night. I really kind of pulled an all-nighter the night before that too, just because I was in my head so much about this record attempt. I think I really slept like an hour that night. So now I'm on 2 all-nighters in a row, and I got another bunch of flights today that I just don't know if I can really do it. I'm feeling the physical sickness catching up to me. And, we got another 3 full days, basically, of this. At least 2.5. So that's where I'm at. Hopefully this is a story of perseverance, and you're watching this, which would mean that it probably is, and I somehow found a way through, because I'm not going to post it otherwise. But, yeah, in the meantime, I also feel like I might have a fever. Not 100% sure. Obviously, if I do, then I'm just going to quit. I don't want to get anybody sick. But for now, my plan is I'm going to drag myself onto this flight. No sleep. I'm at least going to do this very next flight because I think I'm up for it. It's only like an hour in the air to Copenhagen, country number 10, Denmark. And we'll go from there. The shot quality might suffer a little bit because something's got to give. I'm not sure I can really put a lot of effort into filming the video stuff right now. I got to just get myself there. I'll try my best, but I got to get myself there. All right. On to Copenhagen. Talk to you in a second. Thanks. We have made it to Copenhagen. It was a short flight, but I'm actually feeling sort of reinvigorated because I slept and it was only like an hour, but I literally didn't even notice us taking off or landing. I sat down, went to sleep, and then we were here. And if I can do that and start to get a little bit caught up on sleep, then that's pretty good. That'll work. So we're here, super short layover. I did decide to come to this SAS lounge. It's really good. It's the best one I've been to so far. It's probably the 10th lounge I've been to in the last couple days, but it's also the 10th country, by the way. Denmark, number 10. Probably the nicest lounge I've been to. Great lounge here. I get access to it with Star Alliance Gold, not Priority Pass, though. Okay. Next flight is super soon, boarding in 5 minutes, I think. Something weird is it's on SAS, and I got an email this morning saying that my flight was canceled. I mean, basically the trip was just going to be over. And I looked, and it said I've been rebooked on another flight that didn't exist before that leaves 15 minutes later. So my reading is it was delayed by 15 minutes, and they really sounded the alarms for basically no reason. But yeah, 15-minute delay actually helps me because I was going to maybe miss the connection if I didn't have the delay. Okay, time to hop over to Sweden. See you in just a second at the gate.
Tjena! Välkommen! Välkommen då. Hej då, bye bye. Hej då.
So, welcome to Stockholm, Sweden, into country number 11. We're making good progress now, and it's crazy how sure I was this morning that I wasn't going to be able to continue. I was like, I just have to force myself onto one more flight. And now I'm feeling okay. Knock on wood. I knocked on wood. It's going to come back. I mean, there's still so much left. I just don't think I realized. I mean, this is one of the hardest things I've ever done. I mean, I'm so excited to be doing it and fortunate to be able to do it. But this is so hard. I mean, literally catching a flight all the time. Either being actively on a flight or rushing to catch a flight 100% of the time. And the driving, don't even get me started on that. So it's just kind of catching me off guard just how hard this is. But we're here, and we're making progress. 11 out of 27. Making a real dent now. I just have to try to find a way to sneak some sleep in. I'm doing it an hour at a time, wherever I can find a moment, in the airport or on the plane. And I'm going to keep that up. Next up, we have a flight on Finnair to Helsinki. And then in Helsinki, the closest connection of the entire trip onto a flight that I cannot miss because there's really not a second one that works for my schedule if I miss it. So hopefully we can make this connection. If so, we are looking pretty good. Knock on wood again. I guess you have to not be superstitious to make a video about this kind of stuff because even discussing it makes me scared that I'm gonna jinx it. But anyway, short connection in Helsinki. and hopefully all goes according to plan. Let's go head over to Finland and see you downstairs at the gate. Well, this is definitely the biggest single obstacle to this entire run so far, which is that it's 1 o'clock. We're supposed to start boarding at 12:45, and the plane just got here. Not a good sign. They sold me a layover that was 45 minutes in Helsinki. I'm wondering if they'll wait for me. There's really not another good flight on to our next destination for a while after that. So I don't think they'll want to push me to it. Maybe they'll hold on, or maybe they overschedule the route to add for some cushion. It's a really short distance, so we'll see what happens. But it's definitely the single biggest obstacle we've had. Hopefully we make the connection. Let's find out. With that, welcome to the Helsinki airport here in our 12th country, Finland. It's quite a snowy day here, but doesn't seem to be delaying things at the airport, which is nice. Finnair somehow made up the time. Don't know how. Our plane literally arrived in Sweden after the boarding time was supposed to be, and we got here on time. Don't know how that's possible, but in any event, I'm at the gate for our next flight now, so should make it, and hopefully this one's on time as well. Next flight is down south to Tallinn in Estonia. You might wonder, if you haven't thought about it much, what about Norway? While we're up here, shouldn't we get Norway? Norway is, I feel like, the least intuitive non-member state, I feel like even after I was planning this trip for a significant amount of time, I was still in my mind assuming I was going to have to go to Norway. And I'm like, you know what? Norway is not a member state. So yeah, no Norway. Estonia's next. And I'll catch up with you when it's time to board that flight. All right. Welcome to Tallinn, Estonia. I'll turn you around so you can see what I see. How about this, huh? I bet you didn't expect this level of out on the street, authentic tourism. Well, it's probably because I didn't either. I decided last minute, I've got a 4-hour layover. I booked a night at the hotel directly across the street. And I'm walking there now. I'm getting soaked because it's raining, of course, which is probably the stupidest thing I've ever done because I don't have any other clothes. But I gotta sleep 2 hours out of this 4-hour layover, and a bed is just gonna go a long way. So more on that in a second. But 13 countries out of 27, almost halfway. Okay, one sec. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Oh, good. You?
Good, thanks. Okay, so as I mentioned, you joined me here in Estonia. We've left the airport. We're at a hotel. I just need 2.5 hours of sleep. The wheels of the plane touch down at 5:05, and it's 5:25, and I'm in this room. So I feel pretty good about that. I just got to get something. My problem is it's raining out there, and now my shoes are wet, which might last the next 2 days of the trip. So I hope not. Definitely don't have an extra pair of shoes. We're basically at the midpoint, 13 countries out of 27, just before the midpoint. I wanted to editorialize a little bit. This is going to be kind of like a speech, which is not fun to watch, but I'm not trying to be a content creator. I just want to make this to show that it happened, and my reflections in the moment, I think, are part of that. First of all, it's crazy how different like all of the cultures in Europe are from each other. Like every time I go to a layover at one of these places, like the airport in the new place is like totally different than where I just was. Language, fashion, architecture, food, it's all so different. And I think in a lot of ways the EU and the US are really similar. They're similar size, and the states versus countries thing is effectively works kind of the same way. But I think a lot of people don't realize just how culturally different, Greece is from Ireland, right? Just as an example. Yeah, it's just really different. Even when you go Copenhagen to Sweden, they're right next to each other, but it feels really different. That said, it felt like everybody, everywhere I went, thought I was a local, which is funny. They all kind of like spoke their own language to me, not like they were testing, like they just went in, like pretty consistently. People think I'm a local, which I don't know why that is, but I think it's kind of funny. Maybe I'm just ambiguous looking. Best airport so far was Helsinki. I think Finnair is a good airline, but it's too expensive. SAS was the best airline we've had so far. They have a great configuration on that A320neo that I flew earlier today. And it's a really cheap airline for such a good service. Yeah, I'm testing a lot of airlines. That's why I bring that up. That's my takeaway so far. SAS, I think, is the best, but Helsinki is a good airport. And then the last thought, a sub 3-day run here, hitting every European country in under 3 days, I think is possible. This isn't going to be it. But the two bottlenecks are risk tolerance on your layovers. If you can make them shorter. I basically haven't had to run to a gate at all. And sometimes I've been sitting in a lounge for 3 hours or something. If you had more risk tolerance and you're willing to just lose it all at any layover, which I would rather not do, although it might still happen. If you have more risk tolerance, I think you could cut out an hour from every single layover. And now we're talking 2.5 days instead of 3.5 days. So that's just my thought. I think there's room for optimization here. That's not my mandate for you guys to go do this yourself, but just something I observed. The second is that there just aren't enough routes. Like some of these routes you'd think would have a lot of competition, like Porto to Dublin. Why does that have a 1 daily flight? That's super strange. And there are other ones too. And when there's one route, there's only one time of day you can do it, so you can't really string them together how you want to. If you could string them together however you wanted, because if there was more competition, you could make a really great route. But you have to work with what's out there. But I still think it's possible to make it better. Okay, now I'm going to try to sleep 2 hours, stop talking, then get back to the airport. Hopefully I can sleep. I'm going to be able to sleep. I pulled 2 all-nighters in a row. Okay, see you in a second. Okay, that is done. Slept my 2.5 hours. I'm happy. Slept my 2.5 hours. I'm happy. Now I gotta run. We're boarding in about 45 minutes over at the airport. Don't know how long security's gonna be, so I'm not gonna film. I'm gonna see you on the other side. Hello. Sorry, it's gonna be a short trip. Just need to go to the airport and not get wet. Is that okay? Good? Thank you very much. I did end up getting a taxi. Literally a 1-minute taxi ride. Cost me 10 euros, but I didn't get wet the way back. And that's worth it. It was a mad dash to get here. I didn't know if it was going to be boarding. I didn't know if there's going to be a long security line. Turns out, no security line. And flight's delayed 20 minutes. So I probably could have slept longer, but I'm just so happy that I did that. 2.5 hours of sleep, fully 2.5 hours asleep. I mean, it sounds silly because it's like not enough for a night of sleep, but I feel totally rejuvenated. And in, 5 hours, I'm also going to be somewhere else that I hopefully will be able to sleep. And with those together, I might just be able to do this. But yeah, I thought I was going to be rushing and be the last one on the plane. I'm in the lounge, hanging out, getting free food. We're delayed a little bit, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, looking good. I do have a connection. I don't mind saying the next flight is on Air Baltic to Riga in Latvia, which will be our 14th country, past the halfway point. And then we have a pretty quick connection onwards. The delay, I don't know. We'll see. But at least both of the flights are on the same airline, on the same booking. So maybe they'll wait for me. All right, see you at the gate. All right, welcome to Riga, Latvia, country number 14 of 27. We're over halfway. A couple thoughts as I'm running to the gate that's closing in 6 minutes or something, fully boarded. First of all, the A220 is an awesome airplane. If you haven't flown on it, you should fly on it. It's really cool. The other thing is that was a lot of turbulence, like a lot. I'm used to turbulence, but it was a lot. And definitely gonna be a lot again on the way out here, so that'll be fun. Okay, hopefully I make it. If not, I guess the attempt is over, so hopefully see you in a second at the gate. Okay, we made it. And it is not fully boarded. I don't know what they were saying on the loudspeaker, that it was fully boarded and we were gonna have to run. It's not even finished unboarding the previous flight, so we're good. We are officially heading to our 15th country, Vilnius, Lithuania. And then we'll actually get to take a break there for the night, which is pretty incredible. So yeah, flight to Vilnius here in a second. Quick thought, it's kind of unbelievable how enormous this airport is in Riga. I guess the city's a lot bigger too, but I mean, it's like multiple terminals and wings. I guess it's because Air Baltic is headquartered here and they're a connection-based business model, hub and spoke or whatever. But man, it's like I was just in Estonia and now I'm going to Vilnius, and these are both like 5-gate airports. Okay, anyway, so this is definitely not a 5-gate airport. This is like a 500 gate airport. Okay, that's probably not right, but at least a 100 gate airport. So,
Also, name is
all right.
Apologize for any inconvenience and thank you for understanding.
No inconvenience. It's all good. All right, let's go to Vilnius. All right, welcome to, I don't know if you can see that, Vilnius, Lithuania, our 15th country, and the site of the one place that, at least in theory, I get to sleep for the night. I mean, it's not going to be 8 hours, but this place has a bed for me. 1 second, I'll see you on the other side. Oh, look at this. How very Lithuanian. This is a crazy little hotel. My gosh. Amazing. That'll work. So, we made it to our little airport hotel here. 15 countries down. I don't have as long to sleep as I would have liked. I got to get a shower tomorrow. It's been like 3 days since I showered. So I kind of do need to get up early. Flight is like 6:45. It's 12:45 now. So see if I can get 3 hours or 4 hours. I think that's what I need to kind of power through the last kind of hardest part coming up here. All right. I will see you in the morning. All right, good morning. This clip might look the same as the last. I have the same clothes on, but I have a new shirt, and I've showered, and I've slept 4 hours. So I'm feeling pretty good. You know, the doctor always says you got to sleep 4 hours. That's a full night's sleep. Maybe not exactly, but in the context of this trip, that's pretty good, and I'm feeling pretty good about it. 4 hours slept, and on to another very full day of travel, including probably the most ambitiously scheduled part of the trip. In other words, the thing that I plan for myself that's the most tenuous. You know, can I actually get it done in practice? We'll find out. This place was great. Slept, showered. I'm feeling pretty good going into, probably this will be the last real sleep I get. And yeah, we're almost exactly 2 days in, 48 hours in, pretty soon here. You'll see a timer, but I don't have one, but I think it's about 48 hours. By the way, this shower, you guys see anything missing? I'm not crazy, right? There's no shower curtain. There's a shower head, no shower curtain. That was a first for me. It's hard to shower with no shower curtain, but we got it done. It is about to go 5:15. Boarding is at 5:50. So, yeah, let's cross the street back to the terminal. I have the fast track security. So let's go ahead and get to our gate, and I'll see you on the other side. Well, this place looks about the same as it did 5 or 6 hours ago. Never saw the sun in Vilnius, but I'll have a good memory of this place. Thank you for the sleep. You join me here in the Vilnius Airport Lounge. This is proof of what I was saying earlier, that you really could cut these layovers closer. I mean, obviously I slept a whole night tonight, but I could have slept longer, at least 30 minutes longer. If you're going to lounges, you know that you've got extra time, but that's okay. It's a first pass, and it's a world record. But the point is, I think it's beatable. Even if I make it, which is certainly not a guaranteed thing. So yeah, getting one more little round of free food here in Lithuania, country 15, and then we're heading on our way down south to country 16. I'll see you at the gate. All right, welcome to country number 16. We're here in Warsaw, Poland, and here in the lounge where they have real food, which I really appreciate. I think it's probably the best lounge I've been to so far. But yeah, the real meal is good because we're about to get on our next flight. That's the gate right there. Down to Budapest in Hungary, which will be the 17th country, 10 away from the end. But maybe more importantly, it's also going to be the last flight of the day because I'm just crazy, I guess, and I'm driving to a number of countries after this. 18-hour drive. It's going to be a long drive, but I think if I can, caffeinate my way through it, I'd definitely be able to do this on a normal day with sleep. Without sleep, it's harder, but, I haven't really used caffeine at all the whole trip, so I'm going to use it now, push through, and then we'll basically be on the tail end. All right, let's go catch the flight to Budapest and cross our fingers that we can get our mind right for this long drive. See you in a second. Okay, so once again got lucky and there's basically no one else on this plane. Glad it didn't get canceled. Leaving on time and headed towards Budapest. So, see you soon on the other side. Okay, welcome to Budapest, Hungary. This is our 17th country in, let's see, it's 9 a.m., so it's really last 2 days. Country number 17, and we have a long drive ahead. So I'm gonna go to this little grocery store and get some things, and then get on the road. Let's do it. Here is driver's license. And here is a card. Chariot awaits. 18 hours, longer than I'd like, I think. Arrived. And here we go into Hungary towards Romania. Talk to you in a sec. Okay, so we're on the motorway now, headed southeast towards the border with Romania. I'm going to tune out here for most of the day to make sure I drive and don't fall asleep and don't crash. I'm driving in a foreign country, so you're not going to see a ton of footage, but I'll check in when we actually kind of go to these countries, and I'll show that happening to the extent that I can. A lot of kilometers to cover. I'll talk quickly about strategy here while I've got you. My strategy is to go down towards Romania first and then back across, because the kind of second half, or maybe even last 2/3 of the day, are really through major population centers. We go through Zagreb, we go to Ljubljana, we go to Vienna, we go to Bratislava. We go to all these places, and so my concern is that if I do it in the middle of the day, we're going to have traffic problems. So the solution for now is, I think, to go down this way towards Romania, because it's quite rural this way, and then kind of spring back across and hit those as it starts to become nighttime with less traffic. So that's the plan. We got about an hour and a half to the Romania border here. We'll do the crossing. It's just a little, what did I call it before? Tiptoe? I don't remember what I called it, but it's just barely sneaking into the edge of Romania, and then we'll do a U-turn and come straight back. And come actually right back up this same highway, and through Budapest again, and then down to Croatia. So I will check back in with you in about 90 minutes when we are about to cross into Romania. Okay, so we're about to enter Romania, which is our 18th country, but it's not in the Schengen zone, so we gotta do passport control. Let's see how this goes. Hello. I'm just coming in and coming right back out. It's hard to explain. I'm trying to break a world record. Fastest time to go to every country in the EU. It's very strange. Thank you very much. Okay. Well, he just gave me the world's weirdest look when he asked me how long I was going to be in the country. Well, not long. But, yeah, we have entered our 18th country of Romania, and now to do an immediate U-turn and come straight back. Yeah, I guess we saw this coming, but the line to get back into the country is definitely longer, and maybe that was one potential reason not to do this during the day. I wonder if this is worse than just dealing with traffic in the major population centers later today. I don't know. So I didn't talk about it before, but this seems like as good a time as any to talk about non-Schengen countries. I talked about before how I counted being in the airport waiting for a flight as being in a country. That obviously only applies to the Schengen zone. Like when I went to Ireland, I didn't talk about it, but I didn't do the transit option where you don't enter the country of Ireland. I'll show you the stamp here. I'll put a picture. I actually entered Ireland. Same goes for obviously the non-Schengen countries we're driving to, which are here, Romania, and also Croatia. But obviously we're driving, so you can't really transit in that case. And then the only other one non-Schengen countries that there are, I think, unless I'm missing one, are Bulgaria and Cyprus. Cyprus is the end of the record, so we'll count the end of the record as being when I actually pass through the border in Cyprus, not when I get off the plane. And then Bulgaria is I'll have a layover there, but I'll go ahead and leave the airport, and I'll show you a stamp to show that I actually left. I don't really feel comfortable filming at these border crossings. In the car, it's different because I can kind of hide you over there. But in the airport, I don't like it, but I'll show you the stamp. Okay, so anyway, maybe a 30-minute wait here to enter the country, something like that, or go back into Hungary, into the Schengen zone, and then we'll be on our way. Okay, we are about to go back through the border again into the Schengen zone. It's kind of an imposing name. It sounds like a WWE thing. I'm going back to Budapest.
Budapest?
Yeah.
Touristy?
Yes. Tourist.
Régió?
Yeah.
Amelyik a régió?
What about it? Thank you very much. Have a good day. You guys know what America Radio means? I don't know what that means. Nice people, though. Everyone I've met on this whole trip, such nice people. I don't know what he meant by America Radio, though. Okay, well, with that, I'll show you our sign here. That says Hungary. We're headed back to Hungary. This is kind of the sloggiest part of the trip. Also, wow, did I get lucky. This backup on the other side is still going. When I went that way into the border, there were only 5 cars. So I'm gonna say I got unbelievably lucky with that. All in, I think the border crossing added probably an hour. It only took 10 minutes to get across, but probably 45 or 50 to get back into the Schengen zone. So with that, we are headed back across Hungary to the other side to collect a few more countries over there, 19 and beyond. This was pretty out of the way. I really was preferred to try to fly to Romania, but it just didn't work in the schedule, and all in, it added about 4 hours round trip to the drive here. Would have been less if I could have flown, but it just didn't work. It never fit in anywhere. But yeah, now headed back across Hungary. Our next country will be Croatia. But first, like I said, it's quite a way. It looks like about 4 hours from now until we reach Croatia. It's 12:25 here in Hungary in the afternoon. We rented the car about 9:30. So it's been 3 hours. 4 more until we pick up number 19. Most likely I will talk to you then and probably not before. So yeah, see you in 4 hours. All right, so it's been a couple hours. It's actually been 3 hours since that last clip. We are now about 5 minutes out from the border crossing with Croatia. As we talked about a second ago, Croatia is one of the non-Schengen countries, so there is a border crossing. And then we don't spend long in Croatia until we enter our next country. But the sun is kind of about to go down. It's only 3:55, but it's just getting pretty low in the sky. This might be the last one that we have daylight for. I bet we'll have daylight for the one after this, but then we'll be doing quite a few countries in the dark here like we did that first night, which, you know, is good but bad for the video. It's good for traffic but bad for the video. So yeah, going to enter Croatia, spend about 90 minutes driving through Croatia, take the little ring road around the capital, Zagreb, and then proceed on to our next country. Croatia is going to be number 19. Doesn't sound possible, but it is. So, all right, 6 miles until that crossing, and I'll bring you in again when it's time to make the crossing. Okay, so whatever we're about to do, this is it here. Let's take a look at how this works. Oh, this is the toll road thing. Oh, it's kind of confusing. It looks like the border crossing is closed today. Which, now that I think about it, doesn't really seem like it should be possible because this is a non-Schengen country and does not have an open border with the rest of the EU. But it was closed. We've entered. We got our little toll tag ticket, which I was told I was going to get, so that makes sense. But no border crossing. We'll take it though. In any event, this is our 19th country. We have entered Croatia, and we're heading towards the capital city of Zagreb. And we're only going to be here a short time, looks like about 90 minutes until we cross into our next country. This kind of is the end of the boring part of the drive. I spent over 6 hours driving through Hungary today. And now things get more interesting because every, hour or two or so, we're getting new countries because they're a lot closer together in this direction. So, yeah, probably made the right call spending the long part of the day with the sunlight driving through Hungary, which was a little monotonous. Because now it gets interesting, but the sun is setting. Bad for the video, good for me staying awake. So yeah, welcome to Croatia, country number 19. Country number 20 is fast approaching. And that feels insane to say. Something about that number makes it feel much more ridiculous, what we're doing. It is objectively insane, but that number makes it feel insane. So yeah, welcome to Croatia, country number 19, Hrvatska, I think they call it locally. And yeah, we're well on our way now. See you soon once we're approaching our next country. All right, so we are back to being on the verge of getting a new country here. It's been about 90 minutes, and we're 5 miles from entering Slovenia. This country is, I actually already knew, I've never been to this country before, but I did know that it's like an incredibly naturally beautiful country. I was trying to find a way to visit this country during the daytime so that I could see it as we went through. The sun is probably setting in 30 minutes, which is better than nothing. I can already see how mountainous it is, which is pretty awesome. But yeah, it's kind of a shame that, you know, the entire way through won't be lit up, so we won't be able to see quite so well. But I am just grateful I'm really grateful to be here at all, but I'm especially grateful that I get to see a little bit of it while we're here. So yeah, with that, I'll bring you back in just a second when we're about to enter the country. Republika Slovenia. Cool. Yeah, it says EES only, but there's nowhere that says all passports, so let's see what happens. Hi, I'm not EES, but I didn't know where else to go. Thank you. He didn't speak any English, which is obviously fine, but he kind of just nodded at me. Okay, so no stamp. He just looked at my passport. I was explaining that I'm not European Economic Zone, but I didn't know where else to go. And he kind of just nodded at me. So we will take that. We have entered the beautiful country of Slovenia. It's already very mountainous and hilly. Look at that castle on a hill. I mean, look at this. Beautiful. So yeah, welcome to beautiful Slovenia. 20 countries down, 7 to go. And according to this, we've got about an hour and 42 minutes until we get our 21st country. So like I said, they're coming pretty quick now. Yeah, I'm gonna savor the last of the daylight here in Slovenia and the beautiful views. I'll take a few shots if I can without driving off the side of the road. And then I'll join you again once we are close to our next country. Okay, we are now approaching our 21st country. We're about 10 minutes away, which is, you might have heard of it, Italy. We're just barely dipping into the edge of Italy, right on that furthest little arm where the city of Trieste is. And then turning right back around and going back through Slovenia. In terms of our timing for this entire day of driving, we're probably over halfway. Halfway is probably 8.5 or 9 hours. So been driving 10 hours now, and it's just becoming nighttime now. Just the very last bit of sunlight is still visible. I don't even know if you can see that. Maybe you can. But as far as our timing here, all we need to do is be back at the airport in Budapest for a 6:45 flight, maybe 6:25, I can't remember. Right now, we are cutting it a tiny bit close. I'm going the speed limit here, and that should be enough to get us there, but I just need to kind of minimize the stops. I mean, it is a little bit suspenseful. I think right now, if we were to just not make any stops, which isn't possible, we need to fuel up at least one more time, but if we were to not make any stops, I think we'd get there at like 4 back to the Budapest airport for that 6:20 flight, which is certainly pretty close. Okay, so approaching Italy now. I will get back to you guys in just a second when we are entering Italy. Okay, here we go. We're approaching. Google Maps says 1/2 mile until our border crossing here. Let's see if we can spot it. All right, and there it is. Take a look at that sign. Italia in Slovenian. It's pretty cool. And then here it is again in Italian, just in case you didn't understand. Benvenuti all'Italia. We made it. 21 countries. So that's Italy. I figured I would get out on this one. I know we haven't been doing that, but Italy is one of my favorite countries in the world. And it's a shame that we're only coming 100 yards into it. It's kind of crazy how huge it is. I mean, we were just in Malta, which is just a few miles from Sicily, and that was very different than here. It's a pretty expansive country, and it's an amazing place. And I was introduced to it by someone I care about a lot, and you know, I hope they're doing well if they're watching this. But it's a really beautiful place, so I'm happy to be here, even if it's by 100 yards for 1 minute. Okay. And with that, we return to Slovenia. That was quick. 21 down. Wow, what a number. Okay, so for our next trick, we are traversing the entire country of Slovenia once again, headed towards what will be our 22nd country, which is Austria. The good news is, like I said before, the countries are pretty close together at this point. So even though we have to go all the way across Slovenia, Google Maps says 1 hour, 57 minutes from the Italy border all the way over to the Austria border. Another little quick explanation here as we approach Austria. I was able to buy toll tags online for the toll roads in Slovenia and Slovakia, and then in Croatia you can just pay them. There's like gates, as you saw, but then Austria, you can't buy it online and you can't pay at the gate. You have to buy it at a gas station. So that is why we are stopping at the gas station right on the border to buy our toll tag. Okay, so we got what we needed, this little toll tag guy, and I guess this pays for our Austrian tolls, and we are basically right on the border with Austria, and we're about to cross over into our 22nd country. Every time I say a new number, I'm a little bit baffled, but pretty psyched. So going to our 22nd country, once again, we're kind of running the same pace here. I think it's 2.5, 3 hours to get through this country to the next one. So let's enjoy the next 2.5, 3 hours of Austria in the middle of the night. It's 9 p.m. local, so we should get there at midnight, and then it'll be kind of a mad dash back to Budapest, through one more country, but back to Budapest. So I'm going to stick this in the windshield, and we are going to get on our way. I'll show you the Austria sign as we cross the border. There it is. Austria. Well, we're definitely entering Austria. We've got an art installation up there. I don't know if you can see that. And we are entering the country. I'm not sure if they're going to want our passport or if it's just checking that we have the toll tag. Hi. Okay, I have absolutely no idea what that was. Okay, Well, barely got the sign, barely got that entire interaction. I don't know if that was a toll tag check, if it was a passport check. This is a Schengen border, so there really shouldn't be a passport check. He didn't ask for my passport. But in any case, we have entered Austria, our 22nd country, and we are headed for the 23rd country, 3 hours north of here. So, yeah, let's enjoy 3 hours of Austria, and I will see you on the other side. How cool is this? I don't know if you can see that, those red lights up there. This is literally the center of downtown Vienna. You can kind of tell on the map. But, you know, talk about a major perk of doing this in the middle of the night. I mean, you would not be able to cut through downtown Vienna with literally no other cars on the road, you know, any other time of day. And I've never been to Vienna. So, I mean, I guess I still, in a way, haven't been to Vienna, but that's pretty cool. Okay, so we are now about half a mile from entering Czechia. This is really the first one, driving one, that's been really rural. We are in the middle of nowhere right now. We're probably 20 miles off the main road. But this was just what made sense in terms of the most efficient crossing to just dip into Czechia and then go over to Slovakia. So here we are. But yeah, it looks like it's just kind of at the end of this rural road. So let's keep an eye out. Here it comes. Take a look. I can actually slow down. No one's behind me. Česká republika. Definitely not the right pronunciation, but the right place. So, welcome to the Czech Republic. Here's all the signs with the speed limits and all that fun stuff. So yeah, 23rd country. And very briefly, I think it's like in 10 minutes or maybe 20 minutes, we're going to enter our 24th country of Slovakia. And I'll show the map here as I have been doing to show what this little maneuver looks like. Just kind of skirting the corner here so we don't have to make a U-turn and get our next country. And you'll join me again when we're about to enter Slovakia. It won't be long. Okay, so we are now on the motorway here in Czechia, and we are already 1.5 miles away from the next border crossing and the last new border crossing for this car trip. We are entering Slovakia, which will be our 24th country. And then after that, we have to go back through, right through Bratislava, the capital, and then back into Hungary and to Budapest. That'll be about 3 hours. You catch that? Slovenska Republika. That's us. So we are now in Slovakia. I have the digital toll tag here, so I don't have to worry about that. It's trying to get me to pull over for it, but I already have that. And that is our 24th country in under 3 days. We started at 7 a.m. on our first day, and it's just barely midnight now, 12:03. on what will hopefully, will be the final calendar day of this trip. As I was saying, now we've entered Slovakia, and we just need to kind of reset ourselves, get back to the airport, and looks like that'll be at about 3 a.m. It's about 3 hours from here. And yeah, hopefully try to sleep a little bit, and then our flight boards at like 6 a.m. This moment right now, I'm a little scared of the flights that I still have today, but this moment right now is probably one of the hardest things I've done. I have, in the last 4 nights, I have gotten a total of 6 hours of sleep, which came in the form of 3 all-nighters, 3 full all-nighters, and then 1 night where I basically slept 6 hours. I really have never pulled an all-nighter at all in my life. Not even one, really. Every time I did, I slept at like noon or 1 p.m. or 2 p.m. the next day and caught up for, the lack of sleep. To pull 3 all-nighters in 4 days, I don't really know where I'm finding the energy. I am really tired right now, but to be honest, I'm gonna make it. Like, I'm fine. Like, I'm not in danger of falling asleep at the wheel. Like, if I was, I would quit. Safety is my priority here. And I'm actually good. Anyway, I'm kind of venting now, but I feel like it's an important piece of data to include with what's going on right now is, how I'm feeling. And that is pretty bad, but also surprisingly good for basically 4 days of true insanity. You think about where we started this video. Come a long way. Yeah, I'm really glad it's gone so well. And I'm excited to be done with the driving part. It's funny, beforehand, the driving part was the part I was most excited for, because I love road trips. And I like flying too, but I like road trips more. I'm so ready to sit in an airplane seat and fall asleep. It's gonna be great. Okay, back to the road trip part for a couple more hours, and see you in Budapest. Well, that is going to be it for our companion on that 18-hour drive. It basically sat at its maximum, it's a pretty slow car, at its maximum operating speed for 18 hours straight today. So I appreciate it that it held up. In a way, I guess I operated at my maximum speed for 18 hours straight because I was definitely running on fumes, so we both did the same. Anyway, we're back at the airport. I'm gonna try to see if I can get into a hotel room to get 2 hours of sleep. If it's like a double-digit price, under 100. If they let me. It's 3 a.m. right now, so we'll see. But yeah, I will get back to you in a second. Hopefully they let me. If not, I'm just gonna go to the terminal and try to pick a good bench and sleep there. So see you on the other side. I'll let you know what happens. Okay, well, we struck out on the hotel idea. They're booked, and I'm not surprised because I just took a lap around the terminal, and it's like there's a lot of seating out here, and it's actually pretty good seating for trying to sleep on. It's like seats with leg rests and stuff. Literally every single seat is taken by someone sleeping the night here. So makes sense there's no room at the hotel. But having said all that, I'm kind of okay with it. I think security opens in like 15 or 20 minutes at like 3:30-ish. and I'll just go to one of these priority pass lounges and hang out. I probably won't honestly sleep. But if all goes according to plan tomorrow, I'll be sleeping not that long from now. And it's like dreamy just thinking about it, literally. And I think that my excitement can propel me to that. And then I'll just crash for a million years and get caught up on everything. So yeah, I'm still going to look a little more to see if there's a good place. But probably I'll check in a second. It'll be a second for you. It'll be a couple hours from me. And I'll wait it out. All right. Talk to you in a sec. Okay, so as expected, I could not find a place to sleep. So getting ready to get on the flight in full all-nighter mode, 6 a.m. Had a casual 18-hour road trip and haven't slept, but I am digging deep, Jeff Probst style, and I'm going to get there. The end is in sight. It would be so silly to give up now. I am really struggling. And in fairness, I don't know of any story of anyone I know doing this many all-nighters in such a short time. So, is it possible? I don't know. But it is now. We're going to make it. Just a few more hours, really. And I can sleep on the flight. We're going to make it. All right. Getting on the flight now to Sofia, Bulgaria. It's going to be our 25th country. It's not a Schengen zone country, so I'm going to leave the passport control and go back in and get a stamp, assuming they do stamps. Sometimes they don't. And, yeah, let's go get on this flight. We're going to make it. Thank you. We got to make our connection now. All right. Welcome to Bulgaria, Sofia. This is country number 25 of 27. Only 2 more left, and both of them are on the same reservation, flying Aegean Airways to Athens and then onwards to Cyprus. I've been kind of hiding the ball, but that's the plan. I apologize if the quality of these last few clips isn't as good. I don't think I need to prove it, but I've never been so tired in my life. I just don't even know what I'm doing. I slept on that last flight in a way that I've never experienced before. Like I just sat down, and the next thing I know, we were taxiing here. Like I don't remember taking off or landing. It was just ridiculous. But we're here, and 2 more flights. I didn't actually have to. I thought I was gonna have to go out of my way to like not do the transit option and enter the country officially, and then leave the country once again. But the transit option was actually closed anyway, so I had to leave the country and come back in. It's kind of funny to get your passport stamped, enter the country, and like literally 30 seconds later get it stamped the other direction. But that's what we did. With that, I'm gonna head to the gate for our flight to Athens. That is leaving I think it's boarding in 30 minutes. And hopefully we'll call this a day here. One thing worth mentioning, the flight, the connection in Athens to Cyprus is the closest connection of the entire trip. It's a 45-minute scheduled connection, which is the minimum at that airport. Impossible to know if that's realistic or not. I certainly hope it is. I got an email, I'll put it on the screen now, from Aegean Airways today saying that today is the, basically to potentially expect delays in Athens today because it's like their baggage system is getting inspected or something. It's like the one day a year it happens. If we get a delay, if we get like a 30-minute delay or something on the second flight just to make sure I make it easily, I'm okay with that. So anyway, first step is to get to Athens, get number 26. And then we'll worry about the step that follows. I think I'm going to make it. This morning I wasn't sure. I mean, it's like I've come so far. I wasn't going to give up, but I felt like I was going to just lose it. But I'm going to make it. All right. See you at the gate. Okay, quick update, we're on board. It looks like every flight basically out of Athens is like 20 or 30 minutes delayed. I don't know where they went, but it looks like they're basically all delayed. But I think it's because of this storm system over the city. Could be good or bad. Well, they haven't made it easy on us. It's raining really hard. My flight started boarding 15 minutes ago. It's about to close. Let's see how this goes. That would happen. Alright, I have no idea if this is the right thing, but that rain was bizarre. It's already over. Pretty sure we're gonna miss this flight. That's okay though. I literally see the plane. It's right there. Maybe I can just jump out of the bus and go get on it. We're going right underneath it on the bus. No way, we're stopping right next to it. I think I'm gonna make this flight. First in line, that's huge. Hello. Thank you. I needed a little luck and I think I got it. Thank you very much. I mean, are you joking me? I happened to be the first person in the position to walk off the flight. I mean, literally to walk off the bus and be the first person to go through the passport control and security. I think my gate closes in 2 minutes, but I'm pretty sure it's right here. So I think I'm gonna make it. A5, there it is. Wow. We're gonna make it. The last group is boarding right now. I really did not think we were gonna make it. I think we got really lucky there. But last group is boarding. We're gonna get on this flight. By the way, welcome to our 26th country of Greece. It's kind of unceremonious. We're in and out, but that's okay. Now let's finish this thing. Let's finish this thing.
Thanks, sir.
All right, here we go. And 1, 2, 3. For those of you in the camp of the record ends the moment you step off the plane, it is 2:54 p.m., which gives us a time of 3 days, 6 hours, and 54 minutes. But for posterity, I kind of think it ends when I go through passport control, so we'll keep it running, and I'll let you know what the time is after passport control. I guess if we're gonna assume that this part is part of the timer too, I should probably book it, right? I don't know that anyone's gonna challenge this record and beat it by like 3 minutes, but if they did, I'd be really upset I didn't run. Hello. Thank you very much. There we go. Let's check the time. 2:57. That means I have to go back and look at exactly when we started. But by my count, our time is, I'm so glad we were under the 7-hour mark there. Our time is 3 days, 6 hours, 57 minutes. To all 27 countries in the EU. Passport stamped. We are in the country. All right. I kind of need to process. I'm like kind of overwhelmed. I'll get back to you in a second. I'm going to step outside just to make it completely finished. It's still not 3 yet. So there's something kind of nice about this. 2:59. I'll show you right here. We're outside here in Cyprus. Amazing. All right. Well, I think that'll do it. I'm honestly really proud with how this went. I honestly can say that I didn't expect it to work. I kind of thought coming into this that I was basically playing European vacation roulette. I had all my flights and everything were cancelable, so if I missed one, I just cancel all the rest, and I just hang out wherever I missed one. I just thought it was too ambitious to actually work, and I'm really proud that it worked out and that we got it done. It feels like a real accomplishment, and I'm also kind of surprised by how much I got hit by, you know, the weight that was lifted off my shoulders when it was done. I mean, it makes sense. I basically pulled 3 all-nighters, but it's like, as soon as I didn't have to rush anymore for the first time in basically 4 days, I was such a relief, and that's still carrying till now. And I'm about to go get one good meal because I haven't had a real meal that wasn't lounge food since we started. I'm going to get one good meal, and I'm going to sleep for like 18 hours, probably. And I'm really excited for that. Other things, if you guys want follow-up content on this trip, stories, obviously a lot more happened than I showed, even though it was a long video, I'm sure. I haven't edited it yet, obviously, but there was more. There's always more. So if you want stories, like for instance, when I got to Malta, I completely changed the first day of the trip. The order, I completely changed it. I just got really scared that this one connection was too close and I was going to miss it. And I totally changed it on the fly, like literally 6 hours before we started. It's part of why I didn't sleep that night. There were a lot of good stories. So if you have any questions or want sort of follow-up content on what happened here, more information, I'd be happy to sit down and talk to the camera a little bit and do that. In the meantime, thank you for watching. Again, I'm sure it was a long video, so thanks for sticking it out. This really is kind of about, I just wanted to document this. I wasn't as concerned about the watchability. and I'm sure it's kind of unwatchable because there's so much me talking to the camera. But so if you stuck it out, I appreciate you. I feel really great about this. I'm really proud of it. That might not seem like it. I'm so tired, but I'm really happy. So I'm gonna enjoy my one day in Cyprus here to recover, and then head back home. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Really do appreciate you giving me the time. All right, see you next time.